G'day, legends, Chaos Chronicles. All right, so we are back, and so I actually have someone who sent a very awesome. It's a comment to one of my videos, and that's by Mark Woody 206, and that is back in 2002. It was methadone. I seen blokes made to drink salt and flogged until they chucked up their methadone into someone's cup to be drank. I went in as an addict, but there was no problem unless you were on the dome before you got to the map. So what he's saying was you couldn't get on the methadone unless you were already on the methadone before you got to the map. So there was back then you couldn't just get on the methadone if you were withdrawing from, other opiate drugs. Yeah, unless you're at the map. Jar was old school then, Biff. Politics, guns in bread loaves, Aussies of chuff for $800 dropped off under your pillow. Scarborough North was wild and South was induction. One pouch on arrival at induction from Rocky at PPP. And Mark says, I made the curtains for the cells on Velcro strips. So thank you for writing that, mate. So like that brings me to my next what I'm going to say, and that's absolutely right. And like I guess back then, especially today, like I haven't been back to inside the prison system for over 2 years now, but I'm sure it hasn't changed too much in that time. And all I can say is when I first started coming to prison and started like being a little shit and coming to prison, there was definitely some order in there. The big dudes had all the pull, and you kind of followed suit. Do you know what I mean? And now it's just full of like the younger guys that all want to make a name for themselves, and there's really no hierarchy like there used to be. And like you said, people were made to drink salt so they would spew up, or swallow salt so they would spew up into a cup so someone else could have their methadone. Like that's just absolutely crazy. And this brings me to what I'm about to say, and it's for these reasons right here why you do not want to go into the prison system. Because I know what it's like. When I was 18 years old, I know all I wanted to do was get in there and let everyone know that I'd been to prison. And because I know when I was growing up, unless you've been to prison, you were pretty much not a trusted person. So like I know my dumb 18-year-old self was trying my absolute hardest to get locked up, just so people would think I was hard, I suppose. And I know that I don't think that much has changed. Like I've got three boys myself. You know, two of whom are in their high teens, and one's who's a very in their very young 20s. And I see it a lot with that group, that there's this thing, now with all this rap music and all this other bullshit, that all these kids think that they have to, pretend that they're a criminal, or become a criminal to fit in. And I guess I'm talking to my younger people now, in saying that, don't ever let any group or any person try and change the trajectory of your life, like which way your life was already going to go. Because I can tell you right now, once you step your foot into that pool, your whole leg's going to be wet very quick, and it doesn't take long. And once you're on the books, things are very hard. And let me tell you something now, this is something what people don't take into account. So like, it's hard to get a house when you've got a criminal record. It's hard to get a job when you've got a criminal record. And here's the thing, you can't even hide it like you used to be able to, because we've got this good old thing here called Google, and anyone can just get on there and search your name and try and find out whatever they want, you know? Um, and yeah, you don't want to come to this place, and like, yeah, so like, you can't lie about being a criminal anymore. So when you get out, that's when the real test starts, because it's just very hard. And I want to tell you this story. Like, people lose their lives in prison, and although it's probably not like it is in America, like, it does happen. There are people that are right now in a grave, and not going home to their family because they died in prison. Now, fuck that. It doesn't matter what you did on the outside, do you know what I mean? Nothing you ever did is going to be worth getting your life taken while you're in prison. So I'm going to tell you this story. So there was a guy who was bringing in drugs. Now, this guy was a quiet person, didn't really have nothing to do with the in crowd. And this guy was bringing in drugs for himself and his little tiny friend group that he had. And so, the sharks, the putrid fucking people that just, that float around the fringes pretending that they are a part of some crew and just snitch so they can get brownie points so they can be a part of something. But here's the thing, motherfuckers, yous will never be a part of something because yous are just the little snitches and that's all you'll ever be. Um, But, so anyway, he wasn't letting anyone know, but it was found out that this guy was bringing in drugs. And so, a certain crew of people, I'm not going to say any names or anything like that, but a certain jail crew got onto that this guy was bringing in drugs and not chopping out the boys. You know what I mean? Like the boys. And so anyway, this guy was made then to bring drugs in for this crew of people, and he would get his small tiny little portion and he would be bringing in boat like bum loads, you know what I mean, and then he would then get a small portion. So this one day this guy came out on the visit, and for whatever reason, he came back empty handed, and then told them for whatever reason that he didn't have what he had. And I'm telling you, they got this guy and they got him in the cell, and it was multiple people, and they stabbed him to death. Do you know what I mean? Like they literally like filleted him like a fish and stabbed him multiple times. Now all these people are all either been through with their trial for murder and spending a lot of time more in prison for that. Do you know what I mean? And so this is like a little heads up in saying, like, even when you are a somebody, all it takes is for you to have a bad day, and jail is a bad place. You don't want to be there. You know what I mean? Like, say for instance, if someone thinks that you're a suspect and you haven't shown your paperwork, and someone calls you a snitch, well, it's game over for you then. Do you know what I mean? There is pretty much no coming back from being called a snitch unless you basically, get the biggest shank that's in the yard and then literally attack everyone like a spider monkey. That's the only way you'd pretty much get your name back. But that's the thing, you know what I mean? Prison is like high school. Do you know what I mean? It really is like high school, but although these people will muff you up, and so, like, I just need you guys to know that a lot of people think that this is the place to be. It's actually not the place to be. And yeah, so I'm going to end that there because I've got my dog that's starting to bark. But yeah, we're backing up and running now, guys. And yeah, I guess this video, it was just saying how it's not like it used to be, which makes it very, very dangerous. And you can just Google how many people die in prisons. And, like I said, although it's not like America, people do die. And then see if you can get a number on how many people actually get stabbed inside uh, a Australian prison. It's pretty absolutely crazy. But anyway, guys, don't do drugs, jail, and crime. And you won't, well, don't do drugs and crime and you won't end up in jail, and you won't be getting made your beautiful girlfriend bringing drugs and then you get back and then bang, you're not going back out on another visit again. That will never happen if you stay out of this shit. It's as simple as that. And, for my youngsters out there, like, I know it looks appealing to be a part of a gang. This whole rap music culture makes it a pretty popular thing, It's a load of shit. It's a load of bullshit. Trust me, I've been on the inside looking out and the outside looking in, and I can tell you it's a load of shit. But anyway, guys, I have been the Chaos Chronicles. We are back. All you guys that are members, stay tuned. I will be dropping another members-only video tonight, so stay tuned for that. Also, if you haven't dropped me a subscribe, jump up there and shoot me a subscribe. Smash that bell. That way you'll never miss any of my clips. I've been the Chaos Chronicles. You guys have been absolutely awesome. Let's
I am
go.
also the guy who decides if you and your friends walk out of here or not.